Red Sonja, issue number 2 from Dynamite Comics. So, in the very first issue, we discovered that Red Sonja has a daughter. Only it's not her biological daughter, actually. So, Red Sonja has been given a mission to find this little girl named Sitha and to bring her back to her employee, who will then send her to her real parents. And Red Sonja discovers this little girl in a burned village that has just been raided by bandits. And this little girl considers Red Sonja to be her mother. She keeps referring to Red Sonja as her mommy. And Red Sonja is just kind of putting up with this. She doesn't want this child. And that's kind of where I'm guessing this story is going to go, where she eventually starts falling in love with the kid. Anyways, it turns out that there are people who are after Sitha, and we later find out why. It's revealed that Sitha actually has these strong magical powers, and she uses them at the end of the last issue. Basically, Red Sonja was being attacked by a large group of bandits, and Sitha releases her powers and saves her, and that's where this issue starts, where we see Sitha carrying a injured and bloodied Red Sonja until she can't carry her anymore, and they collapse against a tree. And that's when we see this shadowy figure with an axe show up. And then Red Sonja wakes up and discovers that she's inside this guy's house, and she's been bandaged up. And this guy reveals himself to be Samosh. I'm just going to call him Sam because it's easier that way. And Sam has been taking care of Red Sonja and Sitha for going on 10 days now. Red Sonja has been passed out for 10 days. And Sam basically explains that he hates people. He considers himself to be a good person, and he couldn't deal with like the evil of men and stuff like that. So he decides to go be a hermit and build his own house in the woods where he won't have to deal with anyone and just live a quiet life. So Sitha shows up, and she's excited that her mom is, awake and well, and she basically grabs Sam's hand and says, now we can be a real family. And then we basically get like a montage of over a month where we see Red Sonja basically trying to heal herself, get the feelings back in her legs. We see them cooking dinner together. We see them chopping firewood. We see Red Sonja tucking her into bed. We see Red Sonja practicing her swordsmanship. And then eventually she tells Sitha, all right, like, I'm healed up. We gotta go. Like, we can't keep abusing Sam's hospitality. We're healthy enough to leave now, and I need to get you back to your true family. And Sitha is basically upset. She's like, I already have a family, like you and Sam. Like, I don't want anybody else. And Red Sonja pretty much explains, like, no, like, you have a true family. Family's not something that you can choose for yourself. You have no say in whether your parents are good or not. But whether your mother is, looking for you, and she deserves a chance to see you, and maybe not now, but someday you're going to want to see your family. Like, the call of blood is going to reach you, and it will force you to discover your roots. So you might not want to see your parents now, but at some point in your life, you're going to want to see your parents. And your parents are alive, and they're waiting for you right this moment. So don't waste that opportunity to see them. And so they leave. So we get like a touching moment where Sam has carved a butterfly out of wood, and he gives it to Sitha, and he bids them farewell, and they travel on their journey. We see another montage of them riding on their horse, and they finally approach the employer who hired Red Sonja to track down the kid. And of course, the kid gets pissed off. She kind of runs out of the room. Red Sonja talks to her, and that's when the kid gets upset. And she's like, it's not just the fact that I'm going to see my parents that's bothering me. It's the fact that you don't seem to care. Like, after everything with Sam and all the time we spent together, you don't seem to care about us whatsoever. If you're going to feel this way, maybe I should have just left you to die. Red Sonja tosses her a bag of coins and says, here, this is a small part of the fee that I was paid to bring you here alive. Nobody does anything for free. Like, if it wasn't for the money, I wouldn't have even, bothered to save you. I would have just left you to rot in that village. And then Red Sonja leaves. And we see that she doesn't really mean it, because as soon as she turns her back to the kid, she gets a sad face and she keeps telling herself, like, don't look back. But as she's walking away, she sees these two Acers, and she's kind of suspicious, like, what's going on? Why are they showing up? Does it have anything to do with Sitha? And Red Sonja goes to a bar where she goes to drink her troubles away, and she can't. I guess at this point she's like, all right, I gotta see the kid again. I gotta see if the kid's okay. And I'm gonna leave it there. There's more, but I don't want to spoil this. But yeah, I'm guessing you can guess if the kid's okay or not. I mean, it is a Red Sonja issue, and if the kid was okay, then that would be the end of this series, right? So yeah, things are going down. I'm not gonna say what. Another good issue. I liked it. I will say it is a cliche storyline. You know, you got the cliche, like, lone wolf who, this is just a mission. I don't care about you. If it wasn't for the money, I wouldn't be saving you or bringing you along or whatever. But then slowly their icy heart starts to melt away and their walls crumble down and they start to develop feelings. And I mean, this is a story that's been told a million times, but I still find it really interesting, and I think it's done well in this series, at least so far. I mean, it's only been 2 issues, but it's been 2 really good issues. I really like them. I like, you know, where this is going. It's interesting to see this new take on Red Sonja, like Red Sonja kind of being a mom. As far, like, of all the Red Sonjas I've read, I've never really seen anything similar to that. Maybe there has been something that I just haven't read, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see a new aspect of Red Sonja, even if she just ends up abandoning the kid in issue 2. At least, like, we see, like, you know, she's starting to have a change of heart and she's starting to care for this kid. We'll see where it goes. I will say that I kind of would have liked a little bit more between Red Sonja and Sitha. I feel like the whole mommy thing, it just happens too soon. I mean, it happens in the first issue, like almost immediately. And I would have preferred if it wasn't like that. I would have preferred if they had more of a slow burn. Like, not have the kid be rude or anything like that, but, you know, have this, you know, this kid's kind of close to Sonja, doesn't want to stay far away from her. Maybe the kid's scared because the kid literally just survived seeing her entire village being burned down and seeing a bunch of death. And she's only alive because Red Sonja took her in. So maybe she sees Red Sonja as like a guardian for now. And then over time throughout the issues, the feelings that the kid has for Red Sonja grows deeper and deeper and deeper until eventually she sees Red Sonja as her mother. And I would have liked to see their bonding stretched out longer. I would have liked to see more of Red Sonja just like treating this kid as just another way to make money. Like, I don't care. You're just a quest item, basically. I don't care what happens to you. Well, I care that you stay alive because I need to deliver you alive, but I don't care about your feelings or anything like that. As long as if I get you to your destination, you know, in one piece, that's all that matters. But then eventually her walls slowly start crumbling down until she starts feeling maybe just like a little inkling of something for this kid. And then we had this issue. That's what I would have liked. I would have liked to see a slower burn of the relationship between Red Sonja and the kid, because I feel like it happens too quickly, so that when Red Sonja leaves the kid, it doesn't hit as impactfully as it could have. I guess the best way to explain would be The Last of Us 1. Imagine if Joel took on Ellie and then he basically dumped her within like 20 minutes of the video game. It wouldn't, you know, their separation wouldn't be as impactful as, you know, when it happened later on between Ellie getting kidnapped, Joel being injured, Ellie getting kidnapped again after almost drowning. By that point in time, like, the relationship between them has been so strong that you actually feel for these characters when they're separated and stuff. For this, it didn't hit me as hard. I mean, it's still kind of like, oh, you know, I feel a bit bad for the kid, whatever. But it's not as meaningful as it could have been if you had stretched the story out a bit more. I would have liked to see more with the bandits, because we had her killing off these bandits who raided this village, and then they show up later again, and then it's just kind of like done with. I would have liked if it was longer. Like maybe we see the bandits hunting down Red Sonja, and we see her like she's fighting off these bandits, and she's able to make her escape, but they keep tracking her down. So we almost get like a Mad Max Fury Road kind of story where we have these bandits hunting down Red Sonja and this kid, and Red Sonja has to protect this kid on this journey for a while before the incident that leads to them meeting up with Sam. I would have liked that, like have it a little bit longer. That way we can get more bonding with these two. And then when we have this issue down the line, like maybe make this issue like issue 5 or 6 or something, then that's when we've seen these characters go on this journey. We see like their relationship change the longer they spend time with each other. We see them slowly start to bond into a mother-daughter type relationship, though it's more on the kid's side because Red Sonja is still being a bit standoffish because Red Sonja is a lone wolf. But they're still like we see her icy heart melt just a little tiny bit. We see some cracks in her emotional walls. It's not broken down yet, but we're starting to see the cracks develop. And then Red Sonja, they reach their destination, and we can have a little bit of a conflicting moment where Red Sonja is like, I kind of don't want to hand over this kid now. But eventually she's like, you know what? I have to do it. The kind of life I live, I can't have a kid coming along. Like my life is I can't raise a kid with the life I live. I can't. It's not safe for a kid. Like a kid should grow up, with a loving family, safe and happy. And I can't give that because I'm always being hunted or I'm hunting. Like I can die at any moment. Like my life is too dangerous to have a kid be dragged along. And this journey kind of proved it with all the bandits attacking me and stuff like that. And also maybe like, she's like, her real family wants to see her. That's who she should be with. Like they can give her the life I can't give. And so Red Sonja hands off the kid, and then we see Red Sonja like trying to play it off like it doesn't bother her. And basically she kind of, like when the kid is like, like how can you leave me after all we've been through? Red Sonja's like lying, and that's when you can have the moment where she's like, you know what? You do nothing but hold me back. Like you're nothing but a quest for me. You're just nothing for a way for me to make money. No one does anything for free. And I didn't save you and bring you along for free. I saved you and brought you along because I was being paid to. And now you can go with your real family and you can leave me the hell alone. And then we can see Red Sonja leave, and then maybe, you can have a cliche, like you can see like a tear, or Red Sonja's like, don't let her see you cry or whatever. But something like that. I would have dragged it out just a bit more so that moment really hits because we've seen them bond over multiple issues rather than just the 2, or I should say 1.5, because she hands over the kid like halfway through this issue. So that's what I would have done instead. I would have focused more on their relationship and not have her hand off the kid so soon. I would have left it, like I said, at issue 5 or 6, maybe 6. I think having a good 5 issues of this, like maybe issue 5 could be the Sam issue, and we actually just have the whole issue rather than just the first third of an issue of Sam. We can have like a whole issue dedicated to the Sam character and Red Sonja and the kid, and this is where we can see the relationship between Red Sonja and the kid really develop. Sorry about that noise. This is my dog. But yeah, we can see them really develop, and because of that, when they eventually leave Sam, it can hit the kid a little bit more. And that's why she breaks down, when Sonja abandons her. Because it's like, I had this family, I was so happy, and now it feels like everything is falling apart for me. That's what I would have done instead. I feel like this is just rushed a bit too much. But other than that, still a good issue. I still enjoyed it. I would give this, this is a 7 out of 10. It was a really good issue. I like it. It's entertaining. I'm digging this Red Sonja run. And once again, my dog's deciding to run around in circles behind me. Um, well, with that said, I think I'll just end this issue here and see what's making my dog so excited. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you think. If you guys have read the issue, what are your thoughts on it? And what's your take? Do you agree with my assessment? Like, do you prefer the version I have where we have multiple issues before we get to this, or do you like the pacing? Do you feel the pacing is completely fine? I would like to hear your guys' opinion on that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Take care, everybody. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.